My angels, how you guys doing? I hope you're well. Audie is joining you tonight. It's a little bit later than my normal posting time. So we had half term last week here in the UK, which is when your kids are off for the week. It was lovely and did a lot of stuff. And if you've been following this podcast, then you know that there's been so many shifts going on. Really, I think a collective sort of shift is upon us. A lot of sifting right now. I know most people would think this is a January thing, or people who follow more of the Hebrew calendar would think October, Rosh Hashanah. I know. I think we had something then too, but I don't understand Chinese astrology, to be honest, but what I do know is that the whole shift from the year of the snake to the year of the fire horse, I don't even know what that's entirely about, except that I know in my body when there is a spiritual shift going on, and it's pretty spot on in my opinion. So I'm just going to say that because I'm not ashamed to honor anybody else's practices or I don't know. I don't care. My creator created it all. That's what I believe. So, but it's pretty uncanny. The sifting, the shifting, the kind of leaving behind the old 7-year cycle, the time that's on us right now. It's like breakthrough time. What will you take into the next 7 years kind of a thing. So I don't know, comment below if you're feeling that. I definitely am. And you know, part of that for me has been that I'm just starting I just switched my master's. You know, there's just loads of kind of stuff going on in my own life behind the scenes that's requiring quite a lot of attention and energy. How many of you guys know once you get into this kind of creative carfuncle, it's like wisdom to just step back. And I love doing this podcast. This is, my happy place. But I have noticed myself in the last couple of videos, I just think I'm getting a bit tired for a second here. And I have no plans whatsoever to stop the podcast. However, I want to read something to you that inspired me to just take just a short rest. So tonight I'm going to read to you guys out of Eugene Peterson's book called Run with the Horses. This is such a good book. And if you can grab it. Okay, no, that doesn't work. All right. Getting older. All right. Okay, so the chapter before, I'm just going to read Jeremiah 12:5. So Jeremiah, this is God, the creator, speaking to Jeremiah. So Jeremiah, if you're worn out in this foot race with men, what makes you think you can race against horses? And if you can't keep your wits during times of calm, what's going to happen when troubles break loose like the Jordan in flood? Biochemist Erwin Chargaff updates the questions. What do you want to achieve? Greater riches? Cheaper chicken? A happier life? A longer life? Is it power over your neighbors you're after? Are you only running away from your death? Or are you seeking greater wisdom, deeper piety? Life is difficult, Jeremiah. You're going to quit at the first wave of opposition. You're going to retreat when you find that there's more to life than just finding 3 meals a day and a dry place to sleep at night. You're going to run home the minute that you find the mass of men and women around you are more interested in keeping their feet warm than living at risk to the glory of God. Are you going to live cautiously or courageously? I call you to live at your best, to pursue righteousness, to sustain a drive toward excellence. It is easier, I know, to be neurotic. It's easier to be parasitic. It's easier to relax in the embracing arms of average. Easier, but not better. Easier, but not more significant. Easier, but not more fulfilling. I called you to a life of purpose, far beyond what you think yourself capable of living, and I promised you adequate strength to fulfill your destiny. Now, at the first sign of difficulty, you're ready to quit? If you're fatigued by this run-of-the-mill crowd of apathetic mediocrities, what will you do when the real race starts? The race with the swift and determined horses of excellence. What is it you really want, Jeremiah? I'm going to say that again. What is it you really want, Jeremiah? Put your own name in the blank. Do you want to shuffle along with this mediocre crowd, or do you want to run with horses? It's understandable that there are retreats from excellence. This is Eugene Peterson. Veerings away from risk, withdrawals from faith. Of course, it's easier to define oneself minimally and live securely within the definition than to be defined maximally and live adventurously in that reality. It's unlikely, I think, that Jeremiah was spontaneous or quick in his reply to God's question. The ecstatic ideals for a new life had been splattered with the world's cynicism. The euphoric impetus of youthful enthusiasm no longer carried him. He weighed the options. He counted the cost. He tossed and turned in hesitation. The response, when it came, was not verbal, but biographical. It defined exactly how we remember him, how he's written in history. His life became his answer. I will run with horses. That was his answer. And the reason why this got me is because at this moment in life, I think, first of all, the year of the fire horse, and the way that people who do astrology kind of are defining this is that, everything about last year, the cleansing, the purging, and you can just put it into your own universal truth terms. But the bottom line is we can all feel it. That there's been something since, let's go back, COVID, right? 2020, we're in 2026, right? And it's like there is just, I think if we look back, think of your own self in 2020 and then think of yourself now. What has been completely leveled in your life? Exploded, maybe. Ground zero, clear the rubble, start to rebuild. There's just been a global shift. And those of us in kind of midlife would be rebuilding life and making new choices and discovering. Everything has come out. What are your values? What do you think? What do you want to build? And people who are truly wise and truly seeking truth will be asking themselves deeper existential questions, because the wise man knows that a life built without the Creator is going to blow away in the sand, right? When we build something on the rock, then it's being held up by eternal principles and values. That's where real legacy and that conversation about legacy comes into play. So I think what's happening right now to me, for example, is I'm making all these really big directional decisions. And I don't know if you have those decisions to make too, but I feel a bit overwhelmed, if I'm being honest, and excited at the same time. And I feel this week, I've been a little bit undone. And I feel like, not like I'm ready to give up. Jeremiah just didn't want to run so hard anymore. And I think what I'm feeling tonight and what I want to share with you guys is that it's not fear. I don't know how to say this. I think my biggest fear is mediocre. I think at some point, and tell me if this resonates with you, put a fire in the comments, put a fire emoji in the comments if this resonates with you. My biggest fear is like, I've been through all this in life, right? All these fires, and I'm not gonna align my next decisions with mediocre, I'm a passionate person. Are you a passionate person, right? I live and die by kind of the values that maybe are a little bit unfamiliar to this generation. There's something very sexy about integrity, honesty, the good old-fashioned, you know what I'm talking about? It's not just, oh, that's nice and that's pious. It's like, no, that is just downright sexy to me now. I don't care what anybody says. People who do the hard thing in the midst of mediocre, right? That's inspiring. That's inspiring. And I don't mean like self-promoting, I'm doing this in my own strength. I mean, living life for God is incredibly alluring now. It's once you get past what people think about you, it's like there's this freedom of, and I'm watching it now. You see, this is what's undoing me inside. I'm watching all of the people that I really respect: Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan. Just go down the list. Every major, Stephen Bartlett, right? CEO of A Diary, Chris Williamson. You guys, everybody who is a wise, deep thinker is pursuing God, pursuing conversations about God. Who is God? What's this about? It is no longer this foolish, like, oh, that's just silly. It is truly intelligent and wise and logical and deep and fulfilling to pursue the conversation of who God is. All right. And this channel is obviously all about, theology and the holistic life, bringing the spiritual and the practical together. And I'm sort of, sometimes I'm wanting to teach that just straight from the actual text. And sometimes I'm doing these readings and I'm wanting to just embody, right, the spiritual life, just embody the feminine, intuitive, so I've done some of that and digging into wisdom and looking at Christian taboo, and all of these conversations to me are so exciting, but I just feel a little bit like I need to ground myself right now. And I think it was Proverbs 16 I was reading earlier, and it said, many are the plans in a man's heart, but God orders his steps, or something like that. And it's like, I have all these pieces on the table, and if you do too, then you'll know what I'm saying. And I'm just a little bit like, I don't trust myself right now to just like full speed ahead. And that's what I like about Jeremiah. God's taking this moment with him, and he's taking this break, and he's going, think about your answer before you say it. Because if you want to run hard, you're going to run hard, And I already know my answer, you guys. I want to run hard. I want to run hard. I love provoking the societal norm. I love provoking the kind of status quo of Judeo-Christian faith. I love it. I love it. And because I don't want us to lose our fire, you guys. I don't want us to lose our flame. And I'm just getting my spark back. Something's going on. And I don't know if you feel it or not. It's just going to take me a second, and I'm going to take this week and step back. I'm going to go deep into rest. Actually, I feel like I might do like a little bit of a fast, like a water fast. And I don't know what but I'm going to take the rest of the week off. I'm going to get really quiet, and I'm going to count the cost before I come back and relaunch next week. And I'm starting my MBA next week, which is very exciting. And I just want to listen. I want to listen to the Spirit right now. And I'm excited about what God is doing. And I'm going to say this, I'm using myself as an example, you guys, but I'm talking to you in your terms. I want you to be thinking about your own life in this way. I'm really feeling proud of who God has made me, how much I've changed, how much healing and how much growth, and kind of a new, I don't want to throw my middle finger up, but it's kind of how I feel right now. It's like, and it's not at anybody, it's just like, that's kind of how I feel. I don't really care what anybody thinks of me anymore. I don't really care about what the sort of normal markers are in life. Even with this channel, it's like, I don't want to overly polish this channel because I feel like I want it to be so authentic. And so, yeah, but I need to count the cost. I need to plan my steps. I need to make sure what I'm doing is staying true. Okay. So I'm going to take a break this week. And I'm going to be praying for everybody who watches this channel. I'm going to be holding you guys in my meditation time and saying, you know, God, I truly do. I want to commit actually to praying daily for people who watch my channel. I'm going to be praying for clarity to come over you and me, and because I am building Soul Tribe here, you guys, and you're amazing. I love that there are people who watch these videos. When I straight away post them, it like makes me smile so much, because it's not about getting a view for me. It's about like, is this message resounding with you? Are we speaking the language? Are we vibing? Because we need a lot of encouragement, you know? Anyways, I'm blabbering now, but I'm just saying, be praying for me too this week. Be praying for me. I did get a prophetic word. Like, you know, guys, I say to you guys sometimes by default, I'm a scribe. So that's how I started my prophetic hearing. You know, donkeys years ago, I would just hear a word while I was journaling and write it out. And God gave me one the other day. He gave me one. And I might have to record it for you guys. Whoa, did you see that? What just happened? Whew, a book fell. I might have to record it for you guys. But anyways, I'm going to come back on Monday. All right. And I'm going to come back with stories to tell. And I can't wait. I'm going to miss you all week. Just so you know, I will be missing you. And I want you to know that I will be praying for you every single day. And I may do like a little typed text. I don't want to actually, maybe I shouldn't like commit to that, because I do feel like my brain needs a proper like detox, but we'll just see. I'm thinking about maybe posting here and there, but I just want you to know I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss sharing, and I cannot wait to come back to you on Monday with lots of new revelation and whatever plans I've made, and we're going to run hard together this year. We're going to run really, really hard. I want to tell you this: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, these are kind of major days cosmically, what's going on energetically with the planets around us and everything. Go check it out. Just go listen to a bona fide, proper astrologist like Sabrina Lynn. She's good. She's really good. And in case any of you guys are wondering, kosher, like kind of Kabbalist Jewish concepts are embedded in astrology. So I'm not talking about modern Western pop astrology. We're talking about like planetary alignments and, you know, the ruling, governing planetary stuff. Anyways, check it out if you want. Don't if you don't want, if it's not your thing. But if you can tune into Sabrina Lynn, she's amazing. And Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, they're going to be popping. Like, you might want to know, tomorrow is a day when you might want to just be meditating a lot and just focus in if you can. Try to really connect with God. Try to really connect with what's going on and watching your thoughts. Be vigilant, you know, and just know this is really important. It's awesome to live this life. To live the holistic life, unashamedly, unapologetically. I love it. I love it. Anyways, I can't wait. I cannot wait to come back already. Okay. I love you guys. And yeah, be praying for me and I'll be praying for you. And we'll connect on Monday. Love you.